What happened with you and Lily?
I don't know. I guess I didn't listen to something she told me or something. I mean, I liked her. It's like you embarrass yourself if you say something, and you embarrass yourself if you don't.
You know, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it.
Doge continues to expose financial corruption. Tulsi Gabbard is confirmed. President Trump and Putin have a phone call, and the war in Ukraine is virtually over, and RFK Jr. just got confirmed. Win, win, win.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty, and this is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell. Click the word all. That will give you a notification of my rants, my ravings, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. It's the only way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of the Afternoon Drive. So pretty much along party lines, Tulsi and RFK have been confirmed. One GOP holdout that crossed over and voted with the Democrats, none other than Mitch McConnell himself. Yes, that fossilized escapee from Jurassic Park, along with Nancy Botox Pelosi. And, you know, I was looking at the Dems the other day when they were protesting in front of the Department of Education, and this other fossil next to Mad Maxine Waters. Like, just, is there anybody in Congress under the age of 105? I mean, it's just kind of sad, actually. But Mitch McConnell, who is the last of what we would call the old entrenched rhino establishment, centrist ilk of the GOP, obviously didn't want Tulsi, because Tulsi's not about nation building through a never-ending military-industrial complex, and is not New World Order. And so obviously she can't be overseeing any facet of our homeland security or intelligence. So Mitch McConnell voted against her. And of course he voted against RFK Jr. because RFK Jr. is anti-vax, and Mitch McConnell survived childhood polio and is a strong vaccine advocate. Again, Robert Kennedy Jr. is not anti-vax. What he's anti are vaccines being rolled out without being tested. He just simply wants standards put in place that all vaccines are tested, and he does question why so many vaccines are needed within the first 6 months of life of a newborn. And the concept, here's a wild idea, we really do not understand why autism has just exploded, like in the hundreds of percentile over the last 15 to 20 years. And he said, shouldn't we look at everything to see what is causing this? Is this truly genetics, or is it something to do, whether it be with medication, with food, etc., etc., etc.? And that somehow made him, quote, controversial. Controversial that he wants our food to be healthy. Controversial that he doesn't want us to keep eating things that make us not only morbidly obese, but chronically sick. That we get sick, Big Pharma swoops in, comes up with medication that doesn't cure you, but you can kind of live with it. And just kind of noticing that dynamic, saying, this is dangerous, we can't have it. And the vast majority of Americans were behind RFK Jr. I mean, you think about how Donald Trump has shifted the Republican Party. I mean, we had labor leaders speaking at the RNC. We have labor leaders that are part of the Trump cabinet now. This would have been unheard of, you know, just 10 years ago. especially, in the last breath of the Bush administration. This would have never happened. And a guy like RFK Jr. serving in a Republican administration, yes, 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 yes. It is time to get healthy. So all of those big wins. Doge, of course, keeps getting hit with these judges that are trying to stop it. But here's what's happening. The more Doge keeps exposing, the more Elon Musk keeps talking, tweeting. And by the way, when Anderson Cooper the other day referred to the former governor of New Hampshire as a D, sorry, Anderson, we know you kind of swing that way and you've got a husband, but, not everybody else does. So, don't refer to us by your favorite male appendage that apparently, you and your husband share with one another. Anyway, but, Anderson said that to him live on the air about that Elon Musk standing there in the Oval Office was providing no proof for all these things that he's exposing. What, he's just standing there making it all up? Doge has a website. Hey, Anderson, you're a member of the media. You're supposed to be like a journalist. Have you been to the Doge website? Have you scrolled through all of the documented evidence that they provide showing that $84 billion was given to the Clinton Foundation, i.e. Chelsea Clinton, through USAID, the millions of dollars that are paying hotel bills for migrants in New York City. I mean, it's all there. It's all laid out. And the more it keeps coming out, and the fact that Trump is having almost daily press conferences, Elon Musk is out there talking, the American people are hearing it. You listen to Chuck E. Cheese Schumer and Liz Pocahontas Warren talk about, we have a need for transparency. They need to be transparent. This is the most transparent administration ever. What's his name? Brian Stelter the other day did a piece where he talked about we could go weeks and even forget that Joe Biden was the president because we didn't see him or hear from him. But Donald Trump, we see and hear from multiple times a day. Yes. Yeah. The fact that, you graduated top of your class in homeschool doesn't mean that the rest of us can't keep up, even though you can't, Brian. Trump is out there, and he is literally flooding the zone, but he's also informing the country. And the country is loving this. His poll numbers keep going up. And even these judges that are trying to slow down Doge at the end, they can't stop it. And Doge just keeps rolling. And then President Trump announces that he has had a lengthy phone conversation with Putin, and peace talks will begin immediately. And of course, the neocons, the representatives of the war machine and Europe are all screaming, he's betrayed Ukraine. Wait a minute, time out. Right after he hung the phone up with Putin, he got on the phone with Zelensky. In fact, told Zelensky, don't you think it's time we bring this thing to an end? Yes, I do, Mr. President. Oh, by the way, all this aid we've given you, which I'm sure the phone call, which got pretty pointed, and they won't try to impeach him over this one because I'm sure names were mentioned of the hundreds of millions of dollars, billions that we sent to Ukraine, and it was pure grift. All we did was line Zelensky's pockets and the pockets of the oligarch in Ukraine. It was never a democracy. Listening to George Takei and other Hollywood has-beens talk about, we must fight for Ukraine to preserve their democracy. They're not a democracy. They had a democratically elected president, and our CIA took him out and replaced him with Zelensky. And I'll bet USAID funded it. So, Zelensky is a thug come from the same fabric as a Vlad Putin or another Russian leader, just on a much smaller scale. Back in 2022, there was a peace deal ready to go. Ukraine would have kept most of its country and it would have been over. But the European Union and England all came in and said, no, keep fighting. Don't give in to Putin. The Ukraine army is in retreat. Over 1 million Ukrainian lives have been lost. Their country is rubble. We have bailed them out and kept them afloat financially, but again, most of that money was grifted off by the politicians, by the oligarchs, and on the black market, and some of it came back this way to Joe Biden, I'm sure, the big guy. Tucker Carlson just reported that half the weapons we sent to Ukraine, they turned around and sold on the black market to our enemies. So I want to hear we've somehow dealt a death blow to Ukraine. And Donald Trump made it abundantly clear to Mr. Zelensky, hey, you're going to pay us back to the tune of $500 billion. You're going to give us mineral rights. Bum, ba-dum, bum. You got a lot of great minerals over there, and we want them. And we're coming to get them. They're ours now. And Zelensky said, okay. And he's going to actually end up giving up more territory to Russia than he would have if he had allowed the peace deal to go through back in 2022. And this idea that somehow Ukraine was going to beat Russia was never going to happen. First of all, Russia, as far as size and population, what is it, 100 times the population of Ukraine? Putin had a never-ending stream of bodies and materials to throw at this war. When FDR said we would beat the Axis power through the arsenal of democracy, what he meant by that was, hey, we are an industrialized nation, and thanks to Henry Ford, we can mass produce ships, submarines, airplanes, tanks, jeeps, armament faster than Europeans can, faster than Nazi Germany can, faster than Tokyo can. And he was right. There's a great docuseries on YouTube about how industry, how the capitalists won World War II. Russia could continually throw bodies at this thing. Ukraine couldn't. Russia could keep throwing materials at this thing. Ukraine couldn't. They were destined to lose. All Russia initially wanted was to make sure that their access to the port for their oil pipeline was not cut off, and that provinces within Ukraine that still wanted to be part of Russia, that the Ukrainians would stop bombing them. And here's one so that you can kind of wrap your heads around this one, libloons, that provinces within Ukraine were not being treated like Gaza. So Vlad Putin stepped in, and he's going to end up with those provinces and more. This has been a lose, lose, lose for Ukraine. Oh, and this is what Europe is all upset about. And this is what the neocons are all upset about. This is what the rhinos are all upset about. NATO lost. Which again shows all of us how unneeded and unnecessary NATO actually is at this time. It's just another thing that sucks money, and we keep paying for everybody else. No. And Europe demanding that they be part of these peace talks. You've been in charge of this thing for the last 4 years, and you have it up. Donald Trump stepped in, and with one phone call, stuff has begun to happen. And at this point, Zelensky's on board with it. As he said in that CNN town hall to that nasty what's-her-name, do you want Russia to win? And Donald Trump responded, I want people to stop dying. I want the dying to stop. The dying will now stop. President Trump's going to go to Russia. Vlad Putin is going to come here, and some of you that are still in 1980s thinking and Cold War thinking, no. I saw somebody tweet out today, Vlad Putin, MAGA's second favorite dictator. Realize there's more freedom in Russia than in the United States right now? And their economy is rocking, as I predicted it would be when all the sanctions first went into place. Oh, these sanctions are going to bankrupt Russia. No, they didn't. First thing Russia did was form an alliance with China. They brought India in on it. They've got their own credit cards now. They've got their own ATM network, and they have their own alternate economy, and they're rocking. They're building apartments, houses, and shopping malls every day. New ones are opening all over. I mean, they have a consumer-driven economy now, and they are rocking. And all of this, that we were going to, cripple them, hurt them, and we were paying more at the gas pump, and we were initially told that even our inflation here was a result of, restoring democracy to Ukraine. It was all bullhawk. In reality, the European Union is a waste. They're feckless, and they want us to pay for everything, and then they want to run the victory lap. No, nay. Donald Trump has come in and said, no, Russia is going to get some of what it wants. Zelensky's going to keep his country, and the death is going to stop, and when we're coming in and take the minerals. As we head into the fourth week, which is known as the Donald Trump administration, the winning just keeps getting bigger.